Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So this is a video I've been working on for a while in collaborations with the awesome Nerderino. Please check out their content, link in the description. And so the style of this video is a bit of a character swap. So on Nerd's channel, they have essentially a campaign recap where they talk about a lot of the stuff that happens within their own campaign and draw out everything, different scenes, different sort of role-play moments. Here on this video, Nerd is going to be going over their character Lorelai, some of their backstory and lore. And then on Nerd's channel, that is where we're going to be talking about Erevan, this wizard that I used to play a really long time ago. So anyways though, if you enjoy this video, then please check out the part 2 on Nerd's channel. Go over there, check out some of their other content, give them some love, some likes, subscribes, tell them Smiles sent you. And anyways, let's get into the video.
Cool.
Back at it again. More characters we're going over.
Ooh, we love the lore. We love the trauma.
I'm sure that I'm gonna have such a lovely story about a character where nothing goes wrong, nothing bad ever happens to them, and they live a perfectly happy, wonderful, blissful life and story.
Oh no, yeah, he lives a perfectly happy little life with his friends.
That's great. Just some classic slice of life shenanigans. Just filled with comedic hijinks.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Alright, so the story of Lorelai. I'm not gonna get into his backstory yet. I'm gonna go off with how the campaign started. So, Lorelai, my boy, he's a half-orc, he's a monk, no biggie. Just kinda started up in the tavern with this warlock and bard and some soldier, I think, etc., etc. And, they were just a weird crew. Weird people to be teamed up with, right? And, would seem like to be, just a nice time, vibing, chilling. Probably gonna go off to do a job, turns into something much more. Now, this is where the goblins come in, buddy. A bunch of goblins and hobgoblins storm the fucking tavern for no fucking reason and just kidnap a kid. And we're kind of stuck with fighting them, and we're kind of stuck with the fact that someone's gotta save the kid. No one's gonna do it, so we're forced to do it ourselves, right? So we're following this fucking group of goblins and hobgoblins around, trying to gang up on them. Eventually we do reach, but the party ends up at this temple, this moonwell, and meets this goblin? This goblin named Neilbog. Now, at the time, I thought Neilbog was just some stupid name. I felt bad for him until I looked up what a Neilbog was. Why didn't anyone tell me Neilbog was goblin spelled backwards? No one told me that until 3 months into the campaign!
Oh no.
I just thought it was a name! I thought it was a really poor name. But no, it's a fucking species. It's a name. But no, it's
well,
a
it is
kind
a
of
name.
goblin,
It's
and
just,
I'm like, wow,
backwards.
Cool. But anyways, Neilbog is like, hey, listen, I need you to do a job for me. I want you to kill those bastards in there. And you want to do something, I want to do something. Kill those bastards in there because they don't like me. And I'm like Lorelai, at the time in the beginning of the campaign, was pretty cold, pretty quiet, but also really awkward and had a bad mouth. So automatically, whatever he said is probably gonna get him in trouble, which it did. He just called this poor, mischievous little thing pathetic for not being able to fight a group of hobgoblins himself, and then gets cursed with laughter. He is laughing to the point he is going to die, and I don't like that. I don't like that.
Oh, it's like a Tasha's hideous laughter kind of thing. Just permanent. Oh, that's... Oh.
Yeah. But, then eventually he was like, are you done? You good? Great. So Neilbog then stops the laughter. Mind you, this is the first session. So I'm already terrified. And this is just the first session. Eventually Neilbog explains that, they don't like me because I did stuff. And they're gonna kill me if I go in there. So, long story short, we kill them, we get in, and we find this moonwell tree, which we later find out is from the moon goddess Saloon. Now, this is important. That's really important. Put a pin on that.
The moon goddess saloon. Got it. Okay.
Put a pin on that. We ended up having to ambush this group of hobgoblins and goblins who had the kid from earlier in a cage. And, you know, the fight was easy-ish. And there was just one goblin left, and he had the boy and held a dagger up to his neck. Now, the goblin said, if you kill me, I'm gonna kill this kid. If you let me live, he lives. And I'm like, cool, that's great. However, as Lorelai, he doesn't really listen to people at the time.
Oh.
If anything, he more so goes with his gut. I was the only one close to the goblin and the kid. Meanwhile, everyone else was outside, and so the pressure was on me. And now, here's the part where you're gonna call me stupid. The DM said, even if you try to kill him, if you don't succeed, the goblin has a reaction. Meaning, no matter what I do, that kid's probably gonna die either way.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I rolled to hit with a dart either way. I rolled to hit, I rolled a 7, and then the goblin slit the kid's throat. And the goblin ran off. And now, Lorelai, who is cold, awkward, doesn't listen to people, and just follows his gut, becomes completely horrified because he just got someone killed. He blames himself for the death of this kid because now that kid's blood is in his hands. Now, the tree is on fire. It is caught on fire. So we have to leave as fast as we can. And mind you, this tree belongs to the moon goddess saloon. So we burned down her tree.
Oh, you just like burnt down her temple.
We burned down her... Yeah, we did not mean to do that. But it happened. And we make it outside. And then Yulbog comes back. And he loves the chaos that we caused. And he said, I'll do you a favor. I'll revive the kid. But you have to do something else for me. And this is where... which, mind you, this whole thing was a one-shot. It wasn't even a campaign at first. This is like what cemented the campaign. He said, I need you to kill the hobgoblin warlord, Urku. And if you want this kid to survive, you need to give me a piece of your soul. Each and every one of you. And so, he then cursed us with madness. Each and every one of us. The bard is now like, he has tendencies to kill. Like, now he wants to kill people. The warlock, her thing is, no matter what, you have to finish the mission. Meaning, if someone is dying, if, you know, her party members are dead, or they're begging for help, she's not gonna listen to them. She's just gonna do the mission instead. Like, no matter what, do the mission. It doesn't matter if people are dying. Just do the mission. And Lorelai was cursed with severe paranoia. Now, those curses have something to do with everyone's backstory. And this is where I'm gonna explain Lorelai's backstory now, so the paranoia can make sense. I'm gonna, like, try and explain it as fast as I can, so brace yourself. Basically.
Before we jump into the bracing, I just want to just be like, whoa, like, that is some heavy stuff. He basically just gave everyone, like, a flaw that they have to act on. It's like, oh yeah, you've got, like, your, you know, the roleplay flaws that you might do stuff with. Oh my god, those are some heavy flaws, too, like...
Yeah, he gave everyone a flaw. And he made sure that it was heavily connected to their backstories. So I hate the DM for that. So, and basically, Lorelai's backstory goes as this. He and his family traveled a lot. His dad was an alchemist, and his mom used to be a barbarian, but now she just carves wood and bakes cakes because, you know, she's now a mom. And Lorelai is currently 7 years old at the time. And they arrive to this town that's already got creepy vibes, right? Like, yeah, the people are nice, I guess, but they're really mean to Lorelai because he's a half-orc. And, you know, they call him homeless because he never really had a home because they were always traveling. And he had this one kid, a tiefling boy, who was his best friend. His name was Andreas. It was nice, you know, the town was nice, living there was, you know, good for a little bit. There was this priest in the town who is creepy as shit. Like, a little too creepy. But he didn't come up to be important until later on. And basically, on Lorelai's 8th birthday, his house was stormed with cult members. Like, it was his birthday, he was ready to have a good time. And it was just a bunch of cult members, like, taking his mom, taking his dad. They were gonna probably kill them off. And then they said to kill Lorelai. And Lorelai was trying his best to fight back. But since he's an 8-year-old boy, he can't. So all he could do was just tear off a piece from his mom's skirt. Because that's all he has left of her. And this cult member was ordered to kill him. Instead, he lets him escape. I don't know why. To this day, I don't know why. And then Lorelai was found in the woods by this fire genasi, who then becomes his mentor, who then becomes his father figure.
Oh, dang.
And let's just say Lorelai took him for granted. He was kind of a dick to him around, like, the age of 13 and so on, because Lorelai wanted to get revenge on the cult, which is the cult of Orcus, mind you. And it's sad. And basically Lorelai just left. He just left. His mentor has no clue where he is. He just left. And that's basically his backstory. He's been on his own ever since. For 4 months. It's been 4 months in the campaign. In-game, 4 months.
And he's been on his own ever since.
And he hasn't seen his mentor ever since. And mind you, he has this book. He writes letters to his mentor, but he doesn't send them. He's convinced that his mentor doesn't want to see him ever again because of the fact that he was treating him.
Oh boy. Oh man.
It's so sad. It's so sad, dude. And get this. Lorelai started off as cold, you know, a little awkward and heartless, and just kind of went with his own gun instead of listening to people. As the campaign progressed, he became more awkward, less cold, less heartless. He still had a bad mouth though. He was still a little cocky. That still got him in trouble. But this time he realized that he can help people. He can, you know, find peace within himself to help others, because this dude has been having the world's worst life crisis known to man. He probably still does. It's just not as bad as before. And a highlight in the campaign, which is, oh man. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna explain to you one of the side quests. There was a side quest.
Right.
Where we had to find missing kids, right? In this place called Boatwright. And basically the party went around asking people, like, there's already, like, a session recap done by this, by the way, on my YouTube, if you've seen it, but I'm just gonna explain it in more detail. Basically, so we've been asking these people around, you know, like, about the missing kids, about details and whatnot, what they all had in common, and then came the legend of the King of Forevermore, which, God, I feel for him. I feel so bad. And during the entire time, Lorelai has been feeling, he feels for these kids, because if it were up to him, if he were one of these kids, he would have gladly let the King of Forevermore take him, just so he can have, like, his parental figures back, because he couldn't handle the pain of, like, being alone and feeling that loss in his life that he knew that he caused. Because it's not like he's dead. His mentor's not dead, he's just gone. Because he left them. And he doesn't think he's gonna be able to go back home because of it. And it's really sad.
So he just straight up thinks, like, he just can't go back home. It just, period.
He straight up thinks that he can't go back home,
self-banishment.
Because, like, as much as his mentor treated him with nothing but patience and kindness throughout the whole time. Lorelai was being a dick. Like, nothing ever changed except when he turned 16. He straight up told Lorelai that, I'm scared you're gonna go down the wrong path because of how angry you're becoming. And Lorelai saw that as, I don't trust you anymore. And that tore him apart. And ever since then, he just kind of shut him out even more. Until he was, like, 20. He's still shutting him out, because it's not like he's writing letters to his mentor, telling him that he's okay. He's, you know, just accepting the fact that maybe I shouldn't go back home, because it's not like he needs me anymore.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't even know if he's welcome there anymore, and he's just like, yeah, I guess I'm just better off here. And it's like, I guess he's just better off without me. And it's like, oh boy.
Yeah, like his mentor used to take Lorelai with him on like little adventures, you know, to help people because they would actively help other people. But at one point, his mentor just kind of stopped asking him if he wanted to come. If anything, he would just leave him notes in the morning saying how long he'll be gone, that there's food for him, that to not go off in the woods and whatnot, you know, to be safe. And Lorelai he was beginning to feel really abandoned by him. Really abandoned by him. But he knows it was his fault because he pushed him away in the first place.
Yeah. I can imagine how hard that hits. It's like, yeah, before you were helping out and like really like a part of something like bigger than yourself, and now it's like, you know, your adopted dad is like, hey, I'm gonna go adventuring for the next few days. There's some dino nuggies in the fridge, you know. Don't get into trouble while I'm gone.
Exactly. Like, exactly. And like, it's not like Lorelai was totally alone. I mean, he had friends, but they were really far away. He had this one friend who is a hobgoblin, and I'm not gonna get into any more detail because you'll find out who he is.
So stay tuned.
All I can say is that it was, stay tuned. All I can say is that he's a hobgoblin, and, you know, he's like 3 years older than Lorelai, and they met like once, but ever since then, Lorelai just held him close, even though he didn't see him again. It was really sweet. And also, you remember Andreas, the tiefling boy?
Yes.
He gave Lorelai a painted rock as a gift. You know, instead of like a friendship bracelet, it's like I gave you a rock that I painted with my mom to cement our friendship.
Yeah, friendship rock. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, and he still has that to this day because that's all he has left of what his home used to be and what his old childhood friend was, because he has no idea where he is. He thinks that, like, Andreas probably thinks Lorelai is dead, considering he was supposed to go over to his house on his birthday and probably just found a lot of bloodshed. And mind you, he's just a kid. He was just a kid at the time, so it's fucking tragic.
There's a lot of emotional damage in this campaign. A lot of emotional trauma, a lot of pain.
Yeah, it's so bad. Yeah. Which, mind you, the DM hasn't, I mean, at least, well, he's touched upon, like, the other characters, like, the other party members, like, I guess, let me say, the bard, his name's Jared, he's a changeling. He wants to be a dad, like, he wants a family. And the mission with the missing kids hit home for him. For obvious reasons. And the warlock, who is a cult member of I mean, well, there used to be. Not anymore, I think. In one of the side quests, you had to go to a different cult. Well, cult? No, a different enclave of Orcus to destroy it. And so, it hit home for her and for Lorelai, but mostly for her. So, the DM hasn't touched upon, because she's a cult of Orcus, she's a cult member, and she wants to escape. She didn't become a cult member on purpose. It was, like, against her own will. And she, you know, she wants to escape, she wants to be free, but she can't. It's really bad. It's really bad.
Yeah, I can imagine. That sounds like it would be awful to be in.
God, it is. And it's like, anytime there's like a scene with her and Orcus, I'm like, ah! Like, we're all just screaming because, no! Ew! Leave her alone, dude! God!
Oh my god, I can just imagine, like,
so
I can just imagine the chaos of just like, oh, ew, just get out of here, just leave, versus, like, I feel like a lot of other people where it's like, you know, you're seeing, like, Orcus for the first time, and it's just, like, just this awe and terror and just dread, but you guys are just like, ew, gross, you again? Just, man,
well,
just get out of here.
Well, Well, we haven't seen him yet. The thing is, no one's seen him. He comes to her in dreams, and she usually wakes up screaming. It's so bad. It's so bad. Like, she's not even safe when she's asleep, bro. We haven't seen him yet. I don't know what he looks like. Like, the DM said, do not look up anything about Orcus. Avoid it. That's just spoiler galore. So I have no idea what he looks like, and I have no idea what he's like. All I know is that he is... Ew.
Oh yeah, as someone who's
Just ew.
someone who's dabbled very deep into the lore of D&D, yeah, you're sorry, you're not gonna have a good time.
All I can say is that I'm actively thinking of a way to break the warlock away from Orcus. That's all I can say, because no!
Like, trust me, just even looking...
There's gotta be a way!
Just looking at this absolute unit, it's like, you're not gonna have a good time. Like, there's just no way around it. Like, oh boy.
Oh, that's great, that's so great. Woo! And moving on from that, the DM hasn't, like, touched completely, like, hasn't done, how do I say it? Not a quest, but, like, I guess a quote-unquote event based around, like, Lorelai's backstory yet. Like, there's, like, snippets here and there. But I think next session I'm gonna, like, it's gonna bite me in the ass.
Why? Why next session specifically?
Because the way this previous session ended, let's just say it has me panicking because I have to talk to someone from my past. Let's just say they're on the other side of the war.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
But yeah, it's so fun. It's so fun.
ttrpgs, loads of fun for everyone, all the time.
So fun. I hate that this is my first campaign. Like, I mean, I love it. Like, oh my god, this is like my first introduction to D&D. It's great. I love it, but I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I like your DM style. From what it sounds like, there's like a really heavy emphasis on, like, you know, RP and just world building, and even too just like, you know, you're really seeing how the actions of the players and just how everything is kind of like all tying into this bigger picture. I think from what it sounds like, it's being done really, really well.
Oh yeah, it's great. It's honestly great. Like, kudos to him. He does, like, implement, like, a lot of, like, politics into it. Not, like, to the point where it's, like, annoying. Like, there's politics to the point where it's, like, important to the story.
It's, like, just enough.
Like, it's just enough. It's, like, right there. And, sweet merciful God, when I have to take notes for these sessions, it stresses me out. Oh,
You're not gonna lie, that seems like, that kind of style of campaign seems like the kind of game that you need to take sessions for. Because it's not just like, oh, we went into a cave and, like, beat the tar out of some monsters. It's like, no, there's, like, political intrigue, mystery, all these other things. Like, we have to keep track of all these connections, and it's like, those are the games you need to take notes for.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm the note taker, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I saw Bingo Doodles. Yeah, Bingo Doodles.
Dingo.
Like, when the DM introduced me to her, and I'm like, yeah, Dingo. Yeah, I got introduced to her, and I'm like, the D&D brain rot is so real. I have to have other people see what I'm going through.
Know my pain.
It's like,
know my
pain,
suffering.
Please, oh my god. Exactly. Which like, it has me thinking about, like, Lorelai's character development from the beginning to the campaign to now. Like, what Lorelai needed the most this entire campaign was just love. He just needed
buddy.
love. It's so sweet. It's so sweet, but it's so heartbreaking because, yeah, he got love, but it's not the love he needs.
I kind of don't follow. But I think I might.
The mentor. The mentor. He wants it from him.
It's like, oh, I get it. Trying to find love from the wrong people.
Like,
yeah.
with Lorelai, yeah.
It was at this point, when Nerd and I were recording, that, well, yes, we were still talking about Lorelai. This is when a very important new challenger emerged. Please enjoy a snippet of the saga of Snur.
So, we had a session where the party got drunk after the first side quest, right? And this is where Lorelai's pretty boy privilege kicked in.
Oh, that too. That's also strong.
What I did with Lorelai, yeah, what I did with him was that, yeah, he's gonna be a guy, but what if I gave him feminine-ish features? And it got to a point where, if you just look at his face, you're just gonna think that's a woman. And there was this kobold bard, his name is Snur, who bought a whole, I guess, jug of, I forgot the D&D equivalent of beer.
Ale?
For, you know, somebody. Like, no. Yeah. And, you know, like, we were like, oh, cool, like, someone bought it for the whole party, I guess. We then find out that, you know, the bard bought it for Lorelai. Now, the bard was trying to rizz him up by saying, we don't see a lot of orcish women around here.
Lorelai's like, I got news for you.
Yeah, like, mind you, Lorelai's like already a little tipsy when this is happening. A little tipsy. And everyone else is in the party is like maybe a little tipsy, but still sober. So the warlock is like, my guy, I have some bad news for you. That's a man. I kid you not, the DM had like music playing in the background. He paused it for comedic effect.
Like the record
Oh my god,
scratch?
I never laughed so hard at that. Yes! Like, he had this bardcore cover of like JoJo's Bizarre Adventures playing in the background. It was so funny. When it paused, we were like, oh my god, like, it's over. Like, I ruined his dreams of having an orcish wife. Seems like being a man was 10 times better for him, actually.
Oh my god. Snur!
Dude. Snur had the widest grin the moment we told him that I was a guy. If anything, he was trying even harder to rizz me up by then. You wanna know what he called Lorelai? You wanna know what he called him? My orcish prince. I fucking know. We have this 3-foot-tall kobold bard on the table trying to rizz up Lorelai. Lorelai is, like, tipsy, but he is also aware of the fact that this is not gonna go anywhere. Like, what do I do? So, me as the player, I'm panicking while laughing at the same time because I don't know what to do in this situation. Then it hit me. I could just get his hopes up.
Oh, okay.
And so what Lorelai did was he took Snur's hat, put it on his head, right? You know, like I'm wearing his hat, and I leaned in very close, and he was giving me bedroom eyes. I gave him bedroom eyes. It was getting intense for like a little bit. Snur tried to like invite me to, you know, his bed to like, ooh, let's get hot and steamy. Oh god, and I'm pretty sure all I did was boop his snout and say no.
Oh. Go on, go talk to the person at the bar. Go talk to the person at the bar. The worst thing they can say is no.
Yeah.
Well, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could do so much more, and then
And let me tell you, when I say that I ruined Snur, when I tell you I ruined Snur's ego, I mean I ruined his ego. Because here's the thing. He froze up. And when I say he froze up, I mean this man was paralyzed. He couldn't move anymore. His dragonborn friend had to go, like, pick him up from the table and take him back to their table.
I mean, I can kind of track maybe why. I mean, you know, if this guy was just hitting on the ladies and however much rejection he was getting there, and now he's, like, gone to another team and experiencing a whole new world of rejection there. I mean, that could be bad.
Yeah.
I'd like to imagine that Snur is just gonna, like, find some weird connection to Orcus as he's, like, maybe, I don't know, like, vengefully tracking down Lorelai and is like, I'm gonna get back at, and like somehow Snur kills Orcus, absorbs his power, and then becomes like the second stage of the boss fight. Like you guys like kill or like weaken Orcus, and he's down to like 1 HP, and like Snur just like from the top rope like elbows him, like just pile drive elbows, and like absorbs his soul, and then it's like, you have to fight me now.
Oh my god. Oh, there's so much more. There's a follow-up, actually. The next day, Lorelai, we rolled, like, the DM had us roll to see how much we remember. I rolled a 22, so I don't remember a lot.
With a 22?
All I remember is... Yeah. I only remember Snur, a kickstand, I was hitting on a Minotaur, and, like, 3... drunken letters that I wrote. And this was before I confessed to the catboy. So there was like a drunken confession, drunken doodles, and one of them was like Lorelai trying to figure out a party name, because at the time we needed to have a party name because a higher up was asking for a party name because, you know, we're heroes. And Lorelai was like drunkenly trying to come up with a couple. But the follow-up is when we go downstairs, Snur is still paralyzed. Like, he hasn't moved a muscle. Like, he hasn't moved a muscle ever since. And so, I'm actively trying to apologize to him. And his Dragonborn friend is like, don't bother. Like, he'll snap out of it, but don't bother. Like, he just falls in love too quickly. And I'm like, oh boy, do I have some news for you. So do I, but I feel really bad. Like, Lorelai, when he's sober, he feels awful.
Has this happened to Snur before? He just is like, just goes into just like, he just possums and just lays there for a while and just like, he just goes into shock, and he's like, yeah, this happens from time to time, you know.
Like, oh, apparently, and the worst part is that I heard some of his, like, his other Dragonborn friends, like, after the Dragonborn buddy took him to the table, I heard one of his lizard ladies just say, I thought you said this one was in the bag. Like, dude, oh my god. It's so tragic.
Oh god, he's like, he's getting rejected from all sides, and now he's got the group chat roasting him.
Yes! It's so bad.
No! F's in the chat for Snur.
It's been 3 months ever since I've seen Snur, dude. I hope he's doing okay.
Why would you do that to Snur? I love how it's like, I love how deep the Snur lore is into Lorelai as a whole. It's like, we've got Lorelai, but also, let me talk to you about
this kobold.
Snur. My boy Snur. When I'm editing the video and getting ready to put the title, maybe like, Lorelai lore and Snur. And Snur.
God. Oh, poor Snur. Like, I genuinely do hope I see him again. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I actually hope I see him again. That would be so funny if there was a follow-up to Snur. I want to see him happy. Not with me, though. But I want to see him happy.
I still like my idea where it's like he just comes in as like a BBEG later, and it's like this was actually like the BBG all along, and it's like just Snur. It's like, you know, the one shopkeep that like the level 1 party harassed like 2 sessions in, and they come back and it's just like, steal from my shop now, will you? And just wipe the party. I'd like to see it. Yeah.
You know what's the funny part? You know what's the
Yes.
funny part about this entire campaign? All of this happened, and we're only level 5.
So, like, all the stuff with, like, Orcus, the cult, everything else, like, only level 5. Whoa.
Yeah, like, with the first cult side quest, the missing kids, then having to save Sarah from being sacrificed. I don't know if you watched the recap, but, you know, then she's dead. And then the party takes like a 3-month break because everything was too much for them. It was really tragic. Just like a 3-month time skip, and that's how it's like 4 months into the campaign now. But yeah, we're only level 5.
How many sessions have you actually played in, though? Because, like, that is a lot to happen in, like, just, like...
Actually, I actually have the sessions numbered. Let me look at my notes real quick.
Did you start at level
sessions.
1? Did you start at level 1, or was it, like... What level did you start?
We started
Oh
we
my
started
God,
at level
so,
1,
like-
obviously.
So that's like every 6 sessions, like...
But 30 sessions
Okay,
in, and we're only level 5.
is this gonna be like a level 1 to 20 campaign? Because, like, this is gonna be a whole epic.
I have no idea. I actually have no idea. And the worst part is that I have no idea where the sessions, like, where the campaign is going as of right now. Because we're at a point where we don't have any side quests to do. We don't have, like, an actual, I guess, I mean, well, we do have a mission. It's, like, to kill the Hobgoblin Warlord. But as of right now, we're at a point where we don't know what's gonna happen next. All we know is that I have to talk to someone from my past. That's all we know.
Yeah, and that's just being given as, like, just like a little teaser of, like,
Yeah.
what else is to come next, and it's like just this.
Yeah, and mind you, like, I'm pretty sure next session's, like, November, I think?
I mean, you tell me, I'm not in your game, I don't know.
Let me, hang on, like, I can't say it's, like, 3 weeks from now. It's been, like, what, a week already? It's been a week. Has it been a week? It's gonna be a week. Let's go with that. It's gonna be a week. Let's go with that. And, yeah, it's like another mini little hiatus. You know, like a small little break, which I appreciate, so I can work on these recaps, but...
Sounds like you're having a lot of fun in D&D.
Yeah, having so much fun. That's my first campaign. And I decided to play a monk, which is honestly fun because I get to punch people's heads off, which is a little scary that I'm doing that often, actually.
Yeah. I mean, if you make a build for a
scary.
certain thing, I mean, you want to get use out of it.
Scary,
So.
You know what? That's true. The only thing, not only thing, like another thing I can say about this is in the beginning of the campaign, before the 3-month time skip, Lorelai would barely get hit. Like, yeah, we have a tank, but I would barely get hit, and the other party members would, like, almost be on the edge of death, and I'm, like, still with somewhat full health sometimes. Now, you know, we killed the Hobgoblin Captain, and I've been knocked down twice in like, one fight, I think. Meaning, I was, like, close to death twice, and it was so tragic. After the time skip, we have our first combat happens, and immediately I have broken ribs because lingering injuries is now in effect.
That's an interesting take. Being like, oh, like, this is how we start off the game, and now I'm throwing in this whole new mechanic. Like, that can really, really drastically change the tone of a campaign.
Yeah. Exactly. I can say that he got healed. Like, I got healed. But, as of right now, the session ended with Lorelai in 3% health. That's all I can say. It's going bad.
That's not a lot of percent health.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm surprised I'm not fucking dead yet, and I hope it stays that way. But yeah, that's Lorelai for you.
Yeah, when you're like, my girl's gone through so much pain and so much, I'm like, wow, you know, honestly, wasn't expecting it to be this deep. This was, I mean, like, this is, oh my god, like, wow, like, a lot of this is thanks to your DM, which I was not expecting, like, just kudos to your DM, like, really twisting the knife into this backstory.
Oh yeah, like, oh god, just wait till you see the next recap. It gets bad! Like,
I've dealt with games where it's like, the physical threats the DM brings are just menacing, and it's like my, you know, backstory stuff wasn't, like, used to bludgeon me to death with it. Like, you're actually the example of, like, the DMs that will use every ounce of a character's backstory to, like, beat the players with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's it's bad, it's bad. I mean, I love it, I really do. The DM, I'm pretty sure he used to be a forever DM, but now he's playing in a campaign.
Oh, that's good, nice. It's nice to see that happen.
Yeah, like, hooray, you're a player, but fuck you, you need to pay for my therapy.
Yeah, and then there's also the fun part of, like, now it's your turn to suffer. Also, it's just nice to have forever DMs just, you know.
No, go on, finish your statement.
Oh, sorry, it was saying, yeah, it is nice, though, to just sometimes have forever DMs have an opportunity to play. Just because, you know.
Oh, no, yeah.
You do it a lot, you know, just...
Yeah, like, you know, like, it's nice to see them play, like, you know, they get to be a player every once in a while, and hopefully suffer, maybe, if only.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's all the lore I can give you, because everything else, either it's too much, or it hasn't even happened yet, and most of it is that it hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah, his story's still being written.
Yeah. All I can say is my only hope is that I see my mentor again, because I need to make it up to him. Because I have a feeling he's gonna die. Like, something's gonna happen. That's like, something is haunting me.
I hope he lives.
God, me too. I need my dad. Like, what Lorelai doesn't realize is that it's not about the mentor needing him, it's about Lorelai needing him instead.
And that's deep.
Yeah.
I hope I get to see the end of that arc.
Oh my god, me too. Oh my god, this DM is killing me.
I wish you the best of luck, and Lorelai the best of luck in just surviving and, you know, in finding ways to effectively fund therapy bills. Because, oh boy, your boy needs it.
Yeah. He needs a lot of it. Like, I thought having a catboy as a boyfriend was enough therapy. No, it's not.
Oh,
it's really not.
Catboy.
They're my Roman Empire, but it's not enough.
Catboy therapy is your Roman Empire.
Listen, if you could just, you know what? Hang on. I mean, you have to see them. Like, you have to understand. You have to understand why. Like, please, hear me out on this. The moment I saw him, the moment I laid my eyes on him, I just knew I had to romance that NPC. Like, how could I not?
Somehow.
I'm sending you, like, bits of fan art that I did of these two. They're my Roman Empire. Like,
oh, okay, I was waiting for the fan art. You were sending, like, hyping it up. I'm like, I know I'm gonna get an art drop on this Discord call. I just don't actually know if I'm, like, see it. And I was, like, waiting. I'm like, I'm gonna get
yes, you're getting, like...
Catboy in a second, and
You're getting 5. Like, they're my Roman Empire. Like, you don't understand.
That cat be boyin'.
Like,
that boy be cattin'.
That boy be cattin', and not only, like, I owe him my life. Quite literally, because Lorelai had a bit of an alcoholic arc. That's all I can say.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was bad. But that's the lore. That's the lore. That's the lore.
Anyways, though, that is all the time today that we have for this video. This was a ton of fun to work on. Doing the character swap was a great experience. Please do check out Nerd's channel and their content and the story so far. There's been a lot of episodes since we initially recorded this, so there's a whole plethora of new information that you can check out if you really enjoyed hearing about Lorelai. Go over there, like, subscribe. Also, please like and subscribe here if you're completely new. If you were sent by Nerd, hi, I hope that you've enjoyed the channel. I hope that you like, build videos and maybe some potential character swaps and a lot of other crazy shenanigans. Anyways, though, in the meantime, keep smiling, keep scheming, and I'll see all of you next time.